The Anderson estate shimmered under a false sense of peace. On the surface, it was pristine, powerful, but underneath, it was cracking. Luna stood on the balcony of her room, staring down at Tyler as he swept the front steps like he had no care in the world. But she saw it now. The calm wasn't humility, it was calculation. He moved like he owned the place. And maybe, just maybe, he did. She turned to her phone and opened a new message. It was addressed to someone she hadn't spoken to in months, a private investigator. I need information on Tyler Mason Mays, discreetly. Inside the estate, Stan paced his office. The trap he'd laid, the bug, the fake folder, had been sprung, but it hadn't caught a rat. Whoever was spying on them knew how to play the game better than he thought. He replayed the hallway camera footage from the night before, pausing on the moment Tyler walked out with the folder. Stan narrowed his eyes. "You're too clean." He picked up his phone and called Blanca. "Time for a family security sweep," he said. "Everyone, no exceptions." Across town at the Smith estate, Jasmine slipped out the back door and into Marcus's car parked near the alley. She didn't even have time to buckle her seatbelt before she kissed him. They sat in silence afterward, breathless, hearts pounding. "Terrence knows everything," she whispered. "I figured," Marcus said. "I gave Tyler the full Anderson playbook. If this goes public, we become targets," Jasmine finished. "You scared?" She nodded. "But I'm still here." That was enough for Marcus, for now. Meanwhile, Carlos Mendoza sipped black coffee on Sasha's couch like he was a guest, not a threat. She sat across from him, still holding her baby's blanket in her lap. "What do you want?" she asked again. Carlos leaned back, his voice smooth. "You're close to Tyler. I want to know who he really is." Sasha blinked. "Why?" "Because he's not who he pretends to be. No man worth hundreds of billions mops floors unless he's hiding something." Sasha held his stare. "Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you." Carlos stood. "Yes, you would. Because if you don't, Blanca's going to find out about your son." He left the room without waiting for a response. Sasha's heart raced. She had survived threats before, but this time, the danger wasn't just from the outside, it was in her blood. At Golden Valley High, Anthony Miller sat in the bleachers during lunch, while Naomi Anderson stood across the court. She hadn't spoken to him all morning, not since the text. "My father knows." He wanted to believe they could survive it. But in Merced, love between enemies was suicide. Dylan Anderson approached Naomi in the hallway. His tone was colder than usual. "Dad wants to talk to you, now." She followed him out to the family car, where Big Ben waited in the back seat. She slid in, closing the door slowly. Ben stared at her. "Is it true?" Naomi's throat tightened. "Yes." "With Anthony Miller?" he asked, eyes sharp. She nodded. "You're done," he said. "Do you understand me?" Naomi swallowed hard. "What if I'm not?" Ben didn't yell. He didn't raise his voice. He just leaned in closer. "Then you're not an Anderson." Back at the Anderson estate, Luna entered Tyler's room without knocking. He looked up from his phone, surprised. She held up a photo. "You know what this is?" she asked. Tyler stared. It was an old article about a tech company sale. His tech company, back when he was still public, before he erased the trail. "You've been spying on me," he said calmly. "You've been lying," she snapped. "You said you had nothing." "I said I had you," Tyler replied. She shook her head. "Are you a billionaire?" He didn't answer. "I can't be with someone who hides everything," Luna said, voice cracking. Then don't, Tyler replied coldly. She turned and walked out, slamming the door behind her. Tyler stared at the door, jaw clenched. Everything was unraveling. Later that night, Stan Anderson snuck into the estate's server room and yanked out one of the routers. He brought it to Blanca, who immediately ran a scan. She blinked at the screen. "This isn't our network," she said. "Then whose is it?" Stan asked. Blanca's face went pale. "This system is rerouting everything to a private server registered under a shell corporation." "Name?" Blanca hesitated. "Tyler Mason Mays." Stan's eyes went wide. "Get the footage. Now." Across town, Sasha sat on her bed, staring at the baby photo again. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from an encrypted number. "We know. You have 48 hours to tell Ben, or we will." She stared at the screen, heart pounding. The secret she had kept for years was slipping through her fingers, and Carlos wasn't the only one watching.